Good morning, Ankit. Good morning, guys. I hope you guys are able to see me, hear me. Thank you. Hey, Nilanjan. Good morning. We'll wait for some more minutes. Let other people also join, and then we can start our session. So, did you guys practice something yesterday? Whatever we have taught on the programming side? Try to create any app on your side with Express.js. Faced any problem? Anyone? Nilanjan, Ankit, Manoj, Nayan? Try to run Express server in your local environment or your machine. Seems like you guys have not tried till now, huh? No problem. You guys are able to hear me, right? Let me know in the chat. Okay, thanks here, Vishal. So let's wait for one or two more minutes, and then we will start where we left yesterday. So I remember on yesterday we were talking about, we have started talking with Express middleware, right? And I told you the benefits of middleware, and I showed you one flow of middleware as well, right? How the requests are starting from routers and then going to middlewares, then going to our final controller. There was a flow which we have seen, and then we after that theoretical part, we went into the understanding the file rendering and middleware concept. So we saw some of the programs where we were trying to render files and trying to use middlewares there as well. Correct. So with the help of middleware, we were doing the logging, and if somebody is entering invalid URL, we are also trying to put it in our console.log, properly handling it. Okay, so that's what we started, and I think after that we move into the CRUD part, where I showed you the important other methods like post, put, delete, and I told you for doing post, put, delete, or getting any client information on server side from the body, we need body parser configuration, and I showed you, I installed in front of you that body parser, and then I showed you these are the two lines which you need to put in front of while starting your application in the main file. Correct? That's what I showed you. And then after that, I think we have performed the CRUD operations with the postman, right? And once we completed that part, then we move into the SQL part, right? And when we move into the SQL part, we started telling that the data is the very important key in every digital communication. Whatever we are talking, whatever we are sharing, it's all data, correct? and how we are passing this data and how we are transferring this data. We were doing it with the help of the APIs. Correct. So the underweight, whatever is happening, it's the API, and whatever we are trying to transfer, it's all data. Correct. Then I showed you then I told you the example of why we need to store these data, right? Because the reason for storing this data, so I told you one example of Instagram. Like if you have talked to somebody 2 days ago and you want to see the chat, that's why you need to store those data. Correct. Or sometimes you are uploading some files on government websites, you need to store all those data. So that that's why every time whatever data we are passing here to there, it's all got stored. Because right now the data is the new money. I told you that yesterday. So that's why people are storing it, and they are just through the analytics or machine learning, they are trying to find some trends between data also. So some machine learning is also going on the data only. So that's why we need to store this data. Correct. Then we started understanding what are the systems we need to store this data. Correct. So that's then I told you about the uh, file system. The first one was file system, and the second one was the database system. Correct. In the file system, I told you it's very good for when one or two peoples are interacting, as we have in our PC. We according to our own wish, we can decide whatever the structure we want. We can create the folders and we can keep the data which we had. Like I showed you the movie example as I was telling you that day. Correct. Then I came back to database. Then I told you database is that collection of data where we want to efficiently keep our data so we can easily retrieve it and manage it. That was the term for database. Correct. Then I also told you about the database management system. Correct. For managing all the data or doing some administrative task, or how can we faster retrieve it. For all those things, we need one database management system. Correct. So then we talk about the database management system, and in database management system, we had some of the tasks which it does. Let me share my screen so you guys can see the slide also according to flow. Yeah, this is the slide, and that's what we were talking about. These are the tasks, right? User administration, data retrieval, data updation, data definition. These are the tasks which we can do with the DBMS. Then we discuss about some of the type of databases, and then I told you these types can interconnect. These types can also conflict. Like the personal database could also be centralized database, and the personal database could also be relational database. Correct. Because the personal database, it means which is going to be used for single user, right? Let me come back to the this screen. Okay, then after that, after understanding the type of database, then we jump into one type of RDBMS. Correct. So there are multiple RDBMS database available: MySQL, SQL Server, DB2, Oracle. All these are relational database. Correct. But I remember you guys were also asking me question about to understand the difference between the relational database and non-relational database. Correct. I remember that the difference I need to tell to you guys. So I brought one example for you. First, let's understand the real life example. And one more thing I want to tell, the difference between them two. It's not only the relation. It's not only the relation, but the only difference is between these two different type of databases. It's not because yesterday I was mostly focusing on the relation part. I was just taking the relation as a key to make the difference between these two. So today I'm trying to say that it's not only the relation between table is the main key to the difference between these two. There are other factors also which are considered while choosing the database between the relational you want to take for your project or non-relational. So let's start with one example. Okay. So let's consider so today we are supposed to have doubt session. Yes, so team, actually, these are some of the doubts which guys have asked in the last section. So I was just answering those doubts. Okay. Yeah. So that was the guy, that was a doubt which they had in yesterday's session, and the doubt was like, what's the difference between the non-relational database and the relational database? Okay. So yeah, so let's start with an example. Let's understand this with an example, real life example. Okay. So you guys like have one party for your friends. Okay. So you guys have one party on like evening party for your friend. What you did, you know that four people are going to come, like 4 or 5 friends of yours are going to come, and according to that, what you did, you have ordered the food for them, ordered the drink for them, and clean your rooms so they can stay in the night, and these type of things you did, right? but but somehow what happens, like rather than these friends are coming, when your relatives also get to know that you have like your birthday and you are just giving some party, or your neighbors also started coming to wish you, so now you can see this has been become out of your out of your decisions, right? Earlier you have only decided that only 4 or 5 people are coming on your birthday party at evening, but now you can see once the people are knowing, more people are coming to your party. Now it has become like open party, for like anyone can come and anyone can join that party, right? So that, so what will happen on the next time, when the next time you will do this type any party, like you will like celebrate any party or birthday party for you, next time you will, what you will decide, you will start thinking with the open party only, right? Rather than deciding that 4 or 5 people will only come and they will enjoy the party, correct? You will like bring stuff only for those people. So but from the next time you have taken that, you have learned that this could also convert into the open parties. So now according to that, you will bring the resources, bring the food, or might be bring like empty your more rooms or more places to people if people want to stay, correct? So that's also happen here also, in the case of the relational database and the non-relational database. So relational database is the first scenario where you have only decided that the 4 people has to come to your party, and now you only need to make bring or purchase food for only these 4 people, and these only, like the things which you are going to do, everything will happen with these 4 people only. That's what the relational database says to us. Because in the relational database, when we are going to develop something, we have to decide it in front of us. Like when we are going to develop anything, when we are going to create any tables or any structure for our data, we have to decide in front, right? And at that time, whatever we deciding, we have to go with that flow. uh, so changing this plan, it's very little complex in the data, in the relational database, very complex. Like if you consider, like if you take the example of in the relational database, I told you that we mostly had the table structure where we keep our columns and rows, right? So in the relational database, when you just consider one example, like we have 4 columns, and in that 4 columns, like 10 GB or more than 10,000 rows are already inserted in that particular table. Now adding a new column, it can create a lot of problems. You need to first bring the values for them, or if you already done the indexing for them, then you need to again do indexing for all the columns here. And like this is continuously, because see, right now your requirement was for only 4 columns, but later on, as your app gone public, or like more people has started join like using your application, your requirement can increase, right? So in those scenarios, so people say that like in those scenarios, you have to continuously change your table. And while you are changing your table, you know that you have also the relation between tables, right? Like there is employer table, there is department table, there is location table, there is like what do we say, pricing table, salary table, all the tables are there. In between these tables, a lot of relations you have created, correct? So now changing one column in any of table, lot of things you have to change, correct? And right, like when you're starting, you are writing the logic. At that time, you created some queries to fetch data between these relational tables. So now you have to change in your query also. Like everything you need to rethink. So that's why that's one problem people have seen with the relational database. That these type of databases are not that much flexible to adhere the changes. So that's why people has come with the non-relational database. In the non-relational database, still we can make relation. Still we have to make the relation. Like somebody was saying yesterday, right? That the user also need logs ID, right? User and logs relation, right? But that's true. That's why I was saying. That's why I'm saying in the relational, in the non-relational databases, we still have to have relations, but dependency is little low. And these type of databases, non-relational database, are very easy to change. If we talk about the MongoDB, MongoDB is a non-relational database. It captures the data in the form of document, and those documents are nothing. They are only object. What are they? They are simply an object, and in object you can add anytime new keys, anytime you can remove the keys. You can make any keys blank also. These all things you can very quickly you can do in the non-relational database. So that was actually the bigger difference people has started noticing between the relational database and non-relational database. And then they have started like suggesting people that if you have like huge data huge data to save, and you want and you are not sure about that this data is going to change frequently or not. When you are not sure about this data is going to change frequently, or you have very huge data to store, or you want frequently like traversing this data. In those scenarios, people simply suggest to go for non-relational database. They still have relation. I'm not like saying no for that. They do not have relations. They still have relations, correct? But yeah, but they have some other benefits also, which relational database are not having. And relational database, see, or so they have also suggested when to use relational database. So relational database we have to use at those times when like we are doing some like banking applications. In the banking applications, we have lot of dependencies, and the relational database has some of the constraint or some of the features which are very much useful for the banking data. See, these differences has started from very long back. But right now, like MySQL, if we talk about the RDBMS MySQL 8.0, they have also provided a lot of advanced features. The RDBMS database is also has provided a lot of advantages. And you guys won't believe, still in the world, 70% of the people are still using the RDBMS. It means MySQL and all the RDBMS database are still ruling compared to 30% people who are using the non-relational database. So because see, people you like in the real projects, people are using both according to their use case. Like there are some of the data in their use in their projects which need a lot of relations between tables. In those scenarios, they make the connection to relational databases. And there are some of the data where they want faster retrieval, and that data could continuously change. In those scenarios, they simply went with the non-RDBMS data. Okay, and I will also show you the structure, how the difference looks between those two. Okay. Okay, so let's see some have questions also meanwhile. Then we will see the structure or the schema difference between both two. Okay. Yes, Deepak. Yes, Deepak. But still, a lot of companies. That's why I'm saying the 70% of the world are still using the relational database. And the real in the real projects, they do not they do not want to. It's not like that. They only want to use the relational database, or they only want to use the non-relational one. I remember in one of my projects, while I was in IBM, I started working with. They have given me one project, and that project was like employee and their manager and their own manager, that relation. And they also want to pointing out the skills of employees, like how much, like there is a top manager, then we have the team leads, Then we have the employees, then all the employees, whatever hours they had, like free hours are there, and some skills. So they have told me to because they want to use the MongoDB at that time, because we do not have any use case for MongoDB. Then I started using the MongoDB, and you can see this is a lot of relation, right? Because on the top there is one department, then department has manager, then that manager has one team, so multiple managers can have multiple teams, right? And then those multiple teams had multiple employees, and all multiple employees had different skills, right? So this is fully, like, this use case is going to be fully relational. But they have told me to use the MongoDB, because we do not have any examples to showcase our MongoDB skills. That's why I started working on that. You guys won't believe, I faced a lot of problems while creating the relations between data in MongoDB. So later on, I think after 2 to 3 weeks, I told them these are the problems I was having. Like I was very, I have to like a lot of aggregation queries in MongoDBs to fetch just simple data, which I can do very easily in the SQL or in the relational database. Then I think they have seen these problems, and then we move to the relational database, and we use the SQL server and those scenarios, and we created very simple tables there. And we, so that's why I'm saying, guys, that totally depends on the use case, and people are using both. I have seen a lot of projects, people are using both of the databases. They are using the SQL as well, and somewhere MongoDB. Okay, let's see. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. Justin was asking, can I share my screen to run a basic program in Node, and we can check where I'm going wrong? Sure, Justin. Let me just complete this doubt, and then we can look your question. Okay. Ankit is saying most of the time we use MongoDB along with Node.js. It's not like that. Most of the time we see this is just for because see, MongoDB is little bit internally it uses JS compilers only. You store data in MongoDB in the format of objects, and in JavaScript also we work mostly with the objects. So that's why when people are showcasing their skills in Node.js or with databases, they simply go with the MongoDB. That's the only reason. But it's not like in the real projects or in many projects we are going to use the MongoDB all the time. It's not. It's always depend on the use cases. We will also learn non-relational database in upcoming classes. I haven't seen any of the like modules chapter which are in the which are going to talk about the non-relational database. I have seen like we are going to talk about the relational database, and we are mostly going with the MySQL, which we are talking about here. Okay, to store the data, which will still remain same. Example, yes, data will be. So let me quickly show you the how the data looks between both two. Okay, quickly let me open one board where I can show you the differences. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. Just stop sharing, guys. So just 1 minute. Let me get one thing which I was looking for. What was the name? Yeah, Microsoft OneNote. Yeah, where we can draw something, right? Let me open it. I was just showing you the difference, like how the data looks in both scenarios. Same data, how will it look into the both of the database formats? Okay, so we will first start with SQL. Like not a lot of the people are already aware of. If not, they will be understanding that also. And then we will look into the non-relational database, how the same data will store in the non-relational database. So just my OneNote is opening. Just it open. Let's start drawing. Which database do you use with Node.js? Actually, I have worked with both type of databases. In non-relational database, I have worked with MongoDB, and in some places I work with Redis. Redis is also non-relational database, and in the relational database, I started working with SQL Server, and then I work in IBM DB2, and right now in my projects we are using also MySQL there, and that is coming from the Google Cloud. So I have worked with both type of data, and if you personally ask me which database you have enjoyed more working with, so I would say that like the relational database, I personally feel like it uses your brains in like 100%, because I personally feel I'm missing these things, because when I was in IBM, I was in one project where I need to write a lot of queries, and writing a lot of queries like next level of fun, because you have multiple tables, right? Now you need to find out some efficient way to bring only one columns or bring some data. So it uses, I think, a lot of like I cannot explain with the words that's the next level of fun. And that much of work I didn't get in the MongoDB, so I am not aware of that. Like in the MongoDB, like MongoDB also has the same level of fun, because it's all at the end the data, right? It's all at the at the end it's all data. And our user requirements is always to bring some part of data, finding out the data and all those things. But yes, I have worked mostly with SQL, and I enjoyed a lot working in SQL, because creating queries while using a lot of, because SQL provides a lot of things to test it out. So that was definitely next level of fun. Which database do you use mostly? Sir, I checked browser, was there was a module on MongoDB. Okay, if there was a module, then definitely we will go and see that also. We total use of, yes, I think, yeah, like see, while you're doing the programming, after some time, what happened? You already know things, right? You just have to repeat things. Like in Express.js server, when I was saying, you already know the syntax. You just need to every time use the same things. Already, like you already done like if you already completed 2 or 3 projects, in 4 or 5 or 6 projects, you will not find any new things there, because you have already done everything. So you were just using the same thing, copying the things and pasting. But in the data side, that's why the data science roles and sometimes data engineering roles are fun to work, because in the data, every time there is something new, you already know that this is the there are like, if you know about the SQL, there are some of the terms which you need to use. You know that there is, you have to do group by, you have to do having, you have to do these type of joins. You know these things, but now you have this data. Now you have like new problems every time with the data. It's happened in the same in the programming also, but yes, same goes with the data also. In the data, we have also the same things, and you have to write the queries. So that's I personally feel that was more fun when I was doing. So that's why I was trying to say that. Yeah, definitely creating logic brings next level of joy. You would say yes. Divya Kanta is saying we can use both in one project. Yes, we can. We can use both. I think we can use multiple databases. It's not just for both. We can use any number of databases in the same projects. Like people does that. If you see the right now, it happens all with APIs, because see, if you know about the yatra.com or the traveling websites, right? These traveling websites goes to Indigo, goes to airlines, Air India, or different websites. They go and bring the data, right? So do you know that these all different websites have the same database or using one database? So in one picture you can see. Let me see if I have opened up OneNote or not. It will be better if I visualize these things to you. Okay, so we have opened it. Let's me share my screen, guys. Yeah, you guys are able to see my screen, right? Yeah, thanks, Nilanjan. Let me see if I can draw something here. Yeah, I can. Let me choose a pen. Yes, great. Let's choose the different color. Yeah, so you can see like the Yatra or Trivago.com. What they do, Yatra slash Trivago. The Niranjan was giving example of Trivago. So they do not have their own database, right? They have set their own database to display things. But while you're searching for flights, they go to Indigo, right? There is Indigo is there. There is SpiceJet is there, correct? SpiceJet is there, right? Then we have different like Air India, we can say, right? Or Air Asia, like whatever, different airlines are there. They also have their own websites, but what like we are not going individually website to them. We are just going to the yatra.com and then we are connecting to, you can see in one picture, you can see we are connecting to now different 4 databases, and these 4 databases can be any database. Indigo might be using like MySQL, SpiceJet might be using Oracle, Air India might be using MongoDB, right? Or Air Asia might be using MySQL only. You can see now with one application, we are trying to connect 4 databases in one picture. And this all happening with the help of API. I already told about how important role API does, correct? So yes, with one application, we can connect to one database or multiple databases. It's not like that. In one project, we can have multiple projects, multiple databases as well. But yes, it all depends on your use case, how you want. Okay. Let me see the next question. Yeah, we can play with data in many ways with SQL. Yes, that's totally right. And I think when we have any projects, when I was in IBM and I was having one financial projects. In financial projects, we have a lot of data. So that and then actually it gives different level of fun when you have the financial data or like banking data, because you have the money there and you have to be exact with the money numbers. Okay, does it depend on the use case of projects of which data? Yes, it totally depends on the use case, and it never depends on other things. How your use case is, only on basis of that you have to decide your database. They fetch database from different airline website to show data. Yes, they fetch different databases to show data, and they do that with the help of API. So now the SpiceJet has exposed one API, correct? In the same way, Indigo has exposed one API. Same way, AirAsia has exposed one API, and those APIs, the Yatra.com at Trivago will call, and those APIs internally in their controller, we have written the database logic. So that's how that they will fetch the data, and then they will forward that data back to Yatra.com. It's a client server architecture. There is one client which is Yatra.com, and there are multiple server for them. Indigo is another server. Airlines is another server. AirAsia is another server. SpiceJet is another server. And in that server, we are interacting with databases. So that's how the things are working here. Google Flights also uses APIs to show data for different airlines. Yes, Nilanjan. Google Flights also do the same things. So what is cluster? Okay, so see, it's a different concept. And cluster, if we talk in the simple words, so cluster is a group of things. But in the computer language, we say that with the resources. Cluster is a group of resources. Like if you talk about the database, so in one zone, in one places, like there are multiple databases, then we can say it's a cluster of database. Correct? That's a cluster of database. And in the same way, it goes for the server also. So like in the same location, like in the Asia Pacific, if we have multiple databases, we can say multiple servers. We can say in the Asia Pacific, we have the cluster of servers. Correct? In a similar way, right now, when we have moved to cloud, now in the cloud, they all see cloud. What cloud does? In the simple word, cloud does rent things to you. Whatever things you want to use, cloud you can take the rent from them. Like they will provide the resources and they will take some amount from you. It's like renting things. You will not own it, but you will just use it. Same way, like you have your home, you have just rented it to somebody else. Somebody can else live here, do everything what you do, but they cannot own it. They have to pay you monthly money. And same goes with the cloud also. In the cloud, they have all the resources, but as a user, you cannot own it. You can use it and then pay it. So now in the cloud, when all the servers and every things are moving to the cloud, every business is moving towards the cloud because they do not want to own it. Because once you own it, you have to maintain it, and maintenance is always costly. Correct. So that's why people have started moving towards the cloud. And now in the cloud, when we have, because in the cloud there are a lot of servers, so that's why we use the term, that's why we started using terms from there to cluster, that we have the cluster here, and in that cluster there will be multiple things. In that cluster, in the same cluster, there could be servers, there could be databases, or there could be some other services is also could be there, like the we can say the gateway could be there, or DNS things could be there, network devices could be there, virtual network devices could be there. So all these things, when we access, so the simple meaning of cluster, combination of things, and those things could be anything. Databases could be also there, or servers could be also there, multiple services could be also there. These things are called cluster. So this cluster word mostly the IT industries has started using in their projects, because now mostly people are moving towards the clouds. That's why they have started using the cluster term, that this particular server is in this cluster, this particular server is in this cluster. That's why they've started using these words. In cloud DB, we do not need to worry about the maintenance. Yes, in cloud, you do not need to you do not need to worry about the maintenance. Whoever the cloud provider is, they will take care of the maintenance part. Sir, how is AWS is related to database? I had many software engineers doing it. See, AWS is not related to databases or anything. AWS is a cloud provider. So if you are relating AWS database, there is no difference. Like both are separate thing. Like far difference. AWS is a cloud provider. AWS is first, like you can say, Amazon Web Services. Correct? That's the full form of AWS. So Amazon, like the Amazon holds the AWS, and AWS provides the cloud services. Whatever I told you, the cloud thing, that the renting part, all AWS does. AWS also rent the databases, also rent the server, also rent the storage, also rent the virtual infrastructure, virtual network, lot of things AWS provides to you. So that's why AWS and database, is no compare. Database are different thing for storing things. AWS provides a lot of services to you in the rent basis. So both are separate things. Deepak is saying, still I didn't understand. Which part, Deepak, you didn't understand? Let me see your question above. Cluster. So you still didn't understand the cluster. So the meaning of cluster, Deepak, I was trying to explain, when we have lot of things at one place. So we say that this is a cluster. In the simple words also, we say the cluster as when we have a lot of group of things in one place. Correct? So like you can say there are, let's take another example to understand the same thing. Okay. You have one website. Okay. And now your website user are some users are in India and some users are from the US. Okay. Now you have to, if you want to give your users faster access to your websites, what you will do, you will create server at two places, one at India location, second one is the US location. So people can faster access your services. Otherwise, if you will create a server at only India, then US people feel the latency. Correct. In the same ways, if you will create the server in US, then India people will face the latency. So now what you will do? Now you will create for faster retrieval, you will create two server at two different places. Now when you are creating two server, you will also create two databases. Now you have created two cluster here. One cluster for the India users, which is in the Asia Pacific region, and one cluster is for the North America or US region. So that's what I'm saying. Simple meaning of cluster is the group of things, group of servers or group of servers and databases, group of infrastructure, right? So and why we use the cluster words? That's why the North America cluster is there, the India cluster is there, Asia Pacific cluster is there. So that's why we started using the word of cluster. Uh, so Nilanjan is saying, so cloud service is not a database. It's not. Cloud service is not a database. Cloud service is renting things to you. It could be renting databases, renting servers, renting storage, renting machines. Cloud service is just simple meaning, renting things to you. It could be anything, database, server, storage, mobile devices, renting things. Whoever is renting that, whatever the clouds are renting, those are all the cloud services. Sir, what is Hadoop? Hadoop, I think I haven't worked with Hadoop seriously, guys, because that was not my area of expertise. But Hadoop is also an engine which takes lot of data, and then it provides some it do some of the calculation on that data, and then it provides final things to you. I'm still not sure about Hadoop, guys, but let me check if I have any answer, because I know some of my friends are working in Hadoop, and they are telling me that the meaning of Hadoop is we are going to inject a lot of data in that Hadoop machine, because Hadoop need big machines to run that data, and then and why we need some data to inject, because we want to do some calculation on that data, and then Hadoop help us to do that. That's what I remember. Let me check Hadoop in Google, and then I might be translate it better to you. Yeah, let me search what is Hadoop. So they say that Apache Hadoop is a collection of open source software utilities that facilitates using a network of many computers to solve problems including massive amount of data and computation. It provides a software framework for distributed storage and processing of big data using the MapReduce programming model. So seems like whatever I told you, that relates, because that's what I told you. So Hadoop, so the extra thing which I got from the definition, that Hadoop provide you softwares or the features, like the Node.js provides you, Express.js provides you some of the features, or like some of the facilities where you can write things easily for creating the servers. In the same way, Hadoops also provide you some of the software or utility, so you can easily take lot of big data, like lot of massive data, and then done some computing on top of that data. So that's where Hadoop helps you. Sir, can you show again how to use request.params and request.query? Query. Oh, sure. I think before that, can we see the Jasleen part? So Jasleen was trying to show some error yesterday. So Jasleen, can you share your screen? And you can also like unmute yourself so we can hear also. So I got the discover on net issues. Can I share my screen? Everything. Yeah, sure, Jasleen. Share your screen. Then we will talk about the request.query and request.param, Vishal. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Let's see.
I'm sharing all my screen rather. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, yes, I can see it.
Yeah.
So you have installed the Node.js, right, in your system?
Yeah, I have installed Node.js.
So can we check that thing with the Node minus version, Node space minus version?
Yes, sir.
Open the terminal from here. Yeah. You can see the terminal on the right. Yeah, after run. After, yeah. Just click on the terminal.
Yes, I'm just trying to click it.
Mm-hmm.
The,
Oh, I think that team screen is coming in front of you. You can click on the close. There
the
is
close
no
option, I'm not finding it here. I'm little
button. You can just reduce the size of window. Might able to get that. Let's try that.
No. What is happening? I usually use Mac, so this is HP. So
I see. Oh, no problem. You can, in the Windows.
okay, the terminal is open. Right, terminal is here.
Okay, let's run Node minus version, or Node space I minus V. Simple V. No, just
Like this way, no? Yeah.
yeah. So you are using the 16, correct? Okay, great.
And
Great.
yesterday only I have updated this. Like I have downloaded again. So it's the new one, latest one. So
That's
here
fine.
this is app.j, like in the relabel is a folder. Like as we discussed yesterday, I have done node npm init. So that package.json is there. And
Okay,
now
great.
what is happening is this is something that I have like
You
got.
remember my repo which I shared with you that day? Can you just go to that repo?
Yeah, the GitHub link, no, that is again there in.
Let me share it with you. If
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
already has, they can share
So
it
is
right now.
it in this program? Is there any error? Because this is simply like we are
Yeah.
creating from HTTP, we're taking the server, and as node is already there, the HTTP is the inbuilt module. So create server should work. And what I'm just showing this hello world in the screen.
So see, the one first problem is here, the import part, because this is the ES6 way to writing things in the JavaScript. But right now, the it follows the common JS. So you need to write const. Like that's why I'm
Const
saying.
HTTP. Okay, I'm just writing it. Const HTTP.
Mhm.
This way,
Yeah,
require
yeah,
HTTP. Yeah.
yeah, require HTTP. That's why I'm saying go to the
That is
website.
again an okay.
Yeah, that would you can find it easily. Let me find it
This
out very
is
quick for you. One website.
this is what is इसको क्लोज कैसे करेंगे?
1 minute, yeah. So it was, I think, day 4, right, where we have started looking into the server part. No, I think day 5. It was day 5. Okay. Yes, that was the day 6. So we'll go into the day 6 branch. Mm, okay. So I pasted it in the chat. I pasted in the chat. Yeah, I think Hariharan is already given that. But yeah, you can just check in the chat, Jasleen, and open that
Yeah.
link. Is it possible for you to open the chat?
Yeah, I'm just opening. I have shared my screen, no? Isn't it
Yes,
not?
yes.
It is not visible.
Yes, it's visual. Correct. Okay, come down in the create server.js file.
This one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's behaving so weird. Everything is behaving so weird.
Come to the create server.js file. Are you? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So just copy this whole content. This is the way how we write things in the common JS structure, which JavaScript has in ES5. Yeah. Now you can see we have used the HTTP server, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now just come down in the file.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see here we are creating our server, HTTP server.create server, and we have passed the same listener you were doing earlier, correct?
Mm.
And then we are listening it in the 8000 port. So let's try to run it. Let's see.
Node
Yeah.
app.js.
Yes, node app.js. And just check like listener is looking good or not. Just go a little bit up in the file.
The file.
Yeah, in the file. Okay, yeah, it looks good. It will download one CSV file for you. Okay. So let's hit this URL. So you can see even CSV file has been downloaded. That was your listener is doing. So now change the code. Come back to the
No,
yeah, come
this
back to
is.
the code. Come back to the code. Let's change it.
क्या
So
change
you
करूँ
can,
sir?
yeah, you can change out the line number 8. You can uncomment it. अब हम क्या करेंगे कि जेसन डेटा को हम यहाँ से रिटर्न करेंगे
अच्छा, हमने
और
वहाँ पे 5 कर दिया था. ओके.
लाइन नंबर 5 और 6 को आप कमेंट कर दीजिए. Okay, come down a little bit. Okay, so now change the bodies to also like keep some object structure here rather than line number 15. Yeah, yeah, delete this one. Yeah, this data delete. Yeah,
I'll simply give some body style or object there, right?
yes, you have to provide the object structure. Correct.
Okay.
No, you have to give the in the same tick marker. The tick which you have deleted, you have to give that also. Yeah, that one. Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah. Now try to restart your server. You will see x:5. Restart. First, restart your server.
अच्छा, okay.
Yeah. Because you made the change and you are not using any restarting app, right? So it will still render the older one. So
So
you have
I'm
to
not
stop
getting
it.
the comment. Like I
You
will
have to
again
stop.
create another terminal.
No, no, no. You can stop it with a Control C.
Control C. Okay.
Yes, Control C. Yeah. So guys see that we have to do Control C here and then node app.js. Now we have restarted our server. Now just try to hit it. Yeah. You can see x:5. Correct. That's how our server will run.
I'll ask another question, although it's not into this topic. So I am when from Reliable, studying the React part as well. So the npm here is not working. Like if I'll I'm opening here the terminal. If you could help, or like we can connect at the end. Whatever you.
Sure, we can connect at the end. Meanwhile, I
Ah,
can just take other questions. Yeah, just
yeah, yes.
sure. So let's see, what are the other questions guys have? So one I remember about the request.query and the request.parameters which Vishal have. Let me see if you guys have any other questions also. So Hariharan was sharing the file, click on cancel. Vishal is saying we can use type modules also, use the ES6 feature. How to restart the server? Okay, thanks sir. I was hoping, okay, sure. So let me share my screen and let's talk about the request.query and request.params quickly. Okay, that was the question which Vishal has asked. Let me share my screen guys quickly. And let's go into the Visual Studio Code. Right, and now we have our app.js. Correct. So let's see here. So guys, on that day when we were discussing, so I told you that our API can have multiple things, right? So now if we talk about the simple API which we were using till now, so the HTTP slash localhost 8000 slash user, correct? So this user was our API name, correct? Now, in some scenarios, what happened? We want multiple users, right? And somebody go on mute. Jasleen, can you go on mute? Jasleen, can you hear us? Okay, I think I have the power to mute it. So, okay, no problem. Okay, so what I was saying, yeah. So yeah, so in some scenarios, what happened? We want some dynamic parameters from the on our URL, because see, if you want to create the user one, then there will be one user one, like first user will come, then second user will come, then third user will come. So we cannot write the multiple APIs for that, correct? So that's what we did in the same API. In the same API, we created some dynamic things like this. You can see the user ID which I created it here, correct? And then and how can we access this user ID in our programs? So for that, request provides us request.parameters. Whatever values we are going to put it here, we can access that as an object in the request.parameters. Like if we add one more, like we can say test ID, correct? Then we can say one more I'm taking, like we can take group ID, simply any random thing, group ID, correct? So I will show you, we can see everything in the request parameter, which we are going to pass it from the URL. So that is the parameter, like request parameters, correct? So let's run this thing and check this part. Our server is running at 8000 and our URL is /user. So if I have /user, now I'm giving as user ID as a 1, and second was test ID as a 23, and group ID as a 435. So these three things I want to access it in our server also. So what I will do? This is the response which our server is giving. But you can see I have console.talk request.parameter, and I can see all the values in the same format I have provided here. The user ID will come as this order, and test ID will come as the second one, and the third one is the group ID. This is how we will access our request.parameters. Okay. Now we will talk about the request.query. So what happened in the request.query? Request.parameter works like that, and you have to make some changes in your API also. Because if you want to use the request.parameter, multiple request.parameter, you need to add it here also, correct? But in the case of query, you do not have to. You do not need make any changes in the URL part. You can provide it directly from here. Like if in the same example, if I take the /about and this is our parameter /ap. This is our parameter. We can give anything, right? We can give our quick also. This is our parameter which we will get it into the name one. But now for the query, we can directly put this question mark, and then we can put the key and value. Like we can say in the Amazon website, we have seen the price. We can say the price should be, or the minimum price, like min price. Min price could be 1000, and max price could be 5000, correct? We can create multiple queries also. And location, or like item is equal to like clothes, correct? These are the things which we pass in the query, and for that we do not need to change anything in our URL parameter, and we can get or whatever we are writing after question mark in the request.query, and then we can use it in our server, however we want to use it. Let me show you. If I hit it, we can see the response, like server response, and then we can see the query here. Min price as a 1000, max price as a 5000, item as a close. And we can keep multiples, like many if we want. We just need to add one more and here at the end, and then we can add it. Like we can, what next we want to add, like rating we can add. Rating should be 5, correct? We just need to do, and we can see rating is also coming as a 5. So that's about the request.params and request.query. Let me see if you guys have any questions. Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, guys. So do you guys have any other questions to ask? Anything like from the like in the last week, whatever we have discussed? Any other questions you guys want to ask right now? I'm here to answer those questions. Postman. Okay, Aradhya wants to know a little bit more about the postman. Okay, so see, guys, postman purpose is, okay. Like, let me see if anyone already have the questions in the params also. Hari Haran has a question in params still, so I will just answer that and then I will answer postman. Okay, Aradhya? Will the params always come in an object format? Yes, params will always come in the object format, because that's what because params and query, these query will also come in the object format. That JavaScript, right? It's a JavaScript. So JavaScript most of the time try to treat everything in the object format, correct? So that's why they have converted all the things which are coming in the object format. Okay. And it's easy, right? With the objects we can easily access things, just one dot and key. So that's why it's very easy. Yunus is saying that, say, he told you will show format of relation and non-relation. Yes, that's also I will show you. Sir, are you a front-end or back-end developer? I actually started my job as a front-end developer, where I working on the PHP. If you guys have seen my first lecture, where I was telling you, so I started as a front-end developer, where I was working as a working on the HTML5 or PHP and CSS, the responsiveness part. That's why I was working. But later on, when I joined IBM, I started working fully on the backend side on the Node.js, and till now I am working fully on the Node.js and the backend side. From I think more than 4 years, I'm working on the backend side. So let's first understand the Aradhya's question about the postman. Then we will talk about the format about the non-relational data and that. Okay. So let me share my screen. So before sharing my screen, so the postman is also another way to trigger the APIs or to call the APIs. Right now, see, before postman, when we were talking about the APIs, we were only hitting it through the browsers. So from the browsers, we cannot pass the data, like the passing data from the body, which we cannot do on the browsers. That's why Postman is a tool. Like lot of companies are using right now Postman. You guys don't believe it, but this is very like a developer friendly tool. A lot of testers are also using the Postman for testing the APIs. So they just use this particular tool to testing the APIs, sending data. Like a lot of methods are available there. A lot of APIs methods are available there. And I personally, as a developer, I haven't gone a lot deeper into that to do the testing part, because as a tester, you have to create a lot of environments before, and then I think you need to like do some dynamic things in the Postman. All of these things you can do in the Postman. But as a developer, I was just testing my APIs there. Like whatever APIs I have created, and I want to test them. If those APIs are not get, I can if those APIs are get, I can simply test in the browser. But those APIs which I created, which are having the post method, put method, delete, I have to test these APIs. I generally go to the Postman and put those APIs there, which I showed you. Let me share my screen now. So I have already opened the Postman. This is the Postman UI. We can say here, and you can see like multiple APIs I have created. You can see the tab on the top. Yeah, right. You can see that these tabs, right? And we can also see the history, whatever calls I have made. You can see whatever like whatever the body which we are sending. If you see the post one, we can see the like other call in the past API call, whatever data we are passing. And now see, if you want to create a new request, we just need to click on the plus here. We have to select our method, any method we want to select here. I simply go with put. We can also give a name here. Like this is saying an untitled request. We can save the name. We can click on this. Okay, it's not let me. Yeah. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. It's not let me do that. Okay. Okay. So here we can give our name. Whatever name we want to give it. HTTP colon slash localhost. This is our API name, like the API URL, not the name. Localhost colon 3000 slash whatever the API name is here, slash API slash v1 slash anything, whatever you want. Then here in the authorization, like sometimes people use the BRED token. We can provide the BRED token as well. Whatever the authentication strategy is there, basic auth is there. You need to provide username and password. Then these are the custom header which we can pass with from our request. We just need to provide the key and value. I told you headers are always object structure. Then we can do that here. Then in the body, we can provide a lot of body. Like if it's the GraphQL query, we can write the GraphQL queries as well. We can also select the file from here. Like different content type format data is there. We can provide that from here. Like if we go to the raw, we can see we can send the text, we can send the JavaScript, JSON, HTML, XML, a lot of things that we can do from here. Correct? In the binary, we can select, and then we can click on the send. And the best part, there is you can so same query you can get in multiple ways. Like you can you will get the curl way, JavaScript way, how to write the same query, or I think Node.js is also there with the Axios, how to make the same call in Node.js Axios. So that's why Postman is continuously, actually, they are like some of my recently, one of my team member who was very senior to me in PayPal, who has joined the PayPal only, sorry, the Postman team recently. So they are right now working on the UI part. There are a lot of things, guys. Actually, I'm not fully aware of the Postman. I simply use only for making the APIs call, and sometimes I go there and copy some curl request. That's what I do. But I remember you can see lot of mock server you can create. You can create even the workspace. Like there could be one of my workspace. There are other teams members can also join that workspace. They can make the request. You can create the environments. Like a lot of things you can do here. You can monitor also. You can see there. You can create the APIs collections as well. So once you will create the all, see if there is any very big projects which are having more than 200 APIs, you will not write all the APIs right every time. You can create the collection of all those APIs, and at one time and with one click, all the APIs will hit. So those all things you can do about the Postman. But as a developer, till now, what I have used, I have just used this API part and this like the curl part. That's what I did with the Postman. Okay, this I hope this helps. Let me come back to this. Okay, this helps you, right, Aradhya? Okay, sure. Before taking one question, I think we will quickly see the relational and non-relational database part also, which I have already left. So let me show you that also very quickly. Okay. So first, let me show you the. Let me share my screen again and go to the OneNote. Yeah, OneNote. Where are you? Yes, you're here. Let's first understand. Like there is okay, what is happening? I've added a new page, but I'm seeing the same page. I'm adding it again. Okay. Ooh. Let me delete it. Okay. Now let's add a new page. Great. We are seeing the same page. Why is happening this? Let me erase it then. Not sure why it was happening. Okay, it's not let me erase also. I see. Let me. Okay, so something happening here. I'm not aware what is happening here, but it's not let me add anything here. Okay, so let me delete it and open it again. Might helps. Okay, yeah, it is helping now. Okay, so now we will take the relational database example. Okay, guys. Let me see. Let me know. You guys can see my screen. Yeah, thanks, Vishal. Okay, so let's talk about the simple, like the employee table, the very common example which we use everywhere. Correct. So what we will do? Okay, let me go to the draw part where we can draw it. Great. Let me select the pen. Okay, we have the green pen. Okay, so let's see. So now we can first consider the main table of our, which is our employee table. Correct. Employee table. Right. So in employee table, we can see this is relational database, right? In relational database, we always have the table structure, which is our employee table first. Correct. And now you can see this will be our columns where we can see first the employee ID. I'm writing EID, employee ID. Then at our employee name could become here. Correct. Then is department ID could come, DID, department ID could come. And then we can create one more ID here like location ID. Correct. And then we can say address, correct, or hobbies, correct, or mobile phone number, your contact number, whatever you want to do, correct. Then we can see the department is there. So there will be another table, department, correct. Now we just create two columns, not make very complex here. Department ID and department name, correct. Same goes for the location table. We can say location ID and location name. Location name. So this is how you will see. And now how we will enter the data in the employee table. Before entering in employee table, we will add data in department and location. So let's see. So now department ID 1 is the IT department. Department ID 2 is the HR department. Department ID 3 is our sales department. Correct? In location ID 1 could be Delhi. Location ID 2 could be UP. Location ID 3 could be Calcutta, or so on. Correct? So on here also. Now we will insert our data in employee ID. Employee ID 1, employee 1, E1, he works in the department 2. His location ID is UP, so 2. Address would be like full address here. Correct? So he can write the full address here. Then he can write his hobbies. Then he can write his contact number. And now in contact number, there could also be like multiple things. Like in contact table could also be there here. Contact table. Where table, yeah, where he can add the primary number. Here he can add secondary number also. Right? It goes for second also, which could be like Rohan. Earlier could be anyone. He works in the 1 IT, 3. He has address, any address side you can like word number, anything, right? Hobbies could be a painting, and contact could come from here, like the contact ID. Correct? So 1 for him, 2 for him. This is how, like here could be his family number, here it could be second number. This is how we are going to design our data in the relational database when we have. Okay, let's try to replicate the same data in the non-relational database. Okay, let's try to replicate the same data in non-relational. Okay, so for that, I think I can create one JSON file. It would very help to us. And let's create it here only in the day 671, right? Oh, like there are some changes. Let me see what are the changes are there. Oh, okay, today's changes. Okay, we can revert back them. What in the root server? Listener method for server creation. Okay, that's fine. Let's create one more file. Non-relational JSON. Or employee.json. Simply we can say right. Employee.json. This is how the non-relational database like MongoDB will store your data. It will create one object, and in the top it will have one object ID. For because all, and they say it as a document. All one object called document, and this is the document ID. Correct. Similar way we has the ID column, right? But we have for all the department. they have document ID, and that document ID is called object ID. This could be any random alphabetic letters A, B, C, D, and this should be unique. Correct? This is how. Now there would be second thing, which would be employee ID. How they will save it? Employee ID. One. Correct? Then there will be employee name. Same way. We can write test or test one. Correct? Then they have the department ID. Or no, rather than having the department ID, they can have like simply rather than having the department, they can have directly the department name here. IT. Correct? Or department rather than department name. They can directly add the department name. Same goes for the location. Location name. Correct? It could be like Delhi, right? And then there could be address, right? Now inside this, you can see how easily we can have two addresses. You guys always remember, like, right, that we most of the time we have two addresses, which could be our primary address, or the current address, you can say, or there could be secondary address also. Secondary address. Correct? That's all. Then we can say about hobbies. Everyone have multiple hobbies, right? Then we can have the one array where we can write painting, singing, right, and etc. Same goes for the contact number. Same goes for the contact number. Uh, Contact number. Correct. It could also have the same primary number, we can have the primary number here, any random digits, right? And then we can have our secondary number. This is how we will directly save the data in databases. There is no relational, nothing needed. This is how you will store it for first first object. Same way you will create the second object also for the second person. We can create an array so it will not like look bad. Yeah, in this way you can create the in this way the MongoDB stores the data. And now that's why you can add anything anytime. You can add, like, later on you got that we want to add like age for this, or occupation for this occupation, right? If we later on stage you want to add the occupation for this person, we just simply can add here. Or you later on you do not want to have the department, you can simply delete it from this object. So that's why these are some of the flexibility which we get in the MongoDB or the non-relational databases. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Seems like I'm stuck on my video. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I was saying to you guys that these are the things which where some flexibility we get in the non-relational databases. But in the relational database, we have those table type structures. Correct? Okay, so let's see another questions. Difference between sir, I also heard about the Jira. Okay, let me go above a little bit. Ankit was asking, what is it? Okay, sure, I will show you the Jira also. So guys, so Jira is simply a tool to manage all your daily tasks. It's not related to technical. It's a non-technical things where managers assigns you some tasks. Okay, it provides you timing for that. You need to write whatever you have your findings are, and is there any blocking for you while doing this task. So that's a management task. That's a management tool. Jira is a management tool to perform actions. So that's I have done Jira. I'm not sure I can show that to you or not, because that could be leaking the privacy of my company. So, but yeah, you guys can look into the Jira. The simple purpose of Jira is to create tasks between your teams and then assign those tasks to your team. And then the Jira has multiple steps. Like when you have started a task, it could come in the in progress. Once you're completing, it can go into the final completed one. And then everyone has reviewed it, it can go to the closed one. So it's a non-technical tool for management things, which we for employee management or for task management. So that's all about the Jira. Sir, is making API simple or hard? Hi, Deepak, it's simple, right? See, I cannot say it's simple or hard, truly, if I say, because I didn't find hard because after completing one project, I was very confident. Next time, I do not need anyone to explain me anything while creating the APIs. So that's why I would also say to you, just create one project, and after that, you do not need to remember next time it's easy or difficult. Every time it's going to be repeat the same things. It's the only logic which is going to change. And sometimes like some data is coming from database, according to your use case, you need to do the manipulation in data. So that those things are a little bit difficult, but API creation, I think that is not difficult. Okay, so let's see the next question. Difference between params and body in Postman. See, in the params, okay, very good. So params are the same things, right? If I go there, so yeah, so see the params are the same thing which we are going to pass here. Params which we are passing, right? The like the 5/6, we can pass it from here also. These are the these params we are talking about. Okay, these params are the, you can see the query params. Oh, okay, I got it. If we're talking about this params, then we can see the we are giving this thing, right? The question mark and the price is equal to a min price, right? You remember that thing? I was giving the example. You can see automatically these values are fetching here. That is the query params here. And the params, regular params are similar. We 5/6, these are the regular params. Request.params. We can access these with request.params. But the question mark one, see, automatically you can create it from here also. A min, price, see, min price, 1000, that's all. And body, where we are going to send the whole data. Like you remember the CRUD operations which we were doing yesterday? Okay, this one. Yeah, this is our body where we are passing the data. Like you remember, these are the data. Like this is a very small example, but we can pass a lot of bigger data from here. So that's the body where we pass the original data. Okay, that's the difference with the params and body. Okay, let me come back to the questions now. Okay, Git, can you teach GraphQL? GraphQL, actually, I am working on the GraphQL right now, but it's out of this course. So, you, you guys have to talk to the instructor, and then we can think about the learning the GraphQL. Okay, and I think still I haven't seen any lot of opportunities in India about the GraphQL. They are outside, people are working on the GraphQL, but still in India, I have seen very less openings in the GraphQL. Not sure why. Okay, so Ankit, is Git help us to track the changes in code? Yes, whatever the changes you are doing, you can push into the Git repo. Others people can see, other developers in the team can see it. Hariharan is saying non-relational database won't store data in table form. Yes, no. Non-relational database won't store. So there are one relational data, non-relational database which stores data in table, but it has different purpose, and that database is Cassandra. If you read about the Cassandra, it uses a table structure, but in very different format. It uses table just specific for one value. Like here, I was using one document, right? He is storing those document in the table format only. So Cassandra is a little bit different. You guys can search about that, but it uses table in little bit. The same non-relational database. But MongoDB does not uses the table. Redis also doesn't use the Redis also does not use the tables. It uses a key value pair. Simple. Do you like work for the backend? Yes, I enjoy working on the backend. Ankit was asking. Vishal is asking, if you want to add some other key in the JSON object, then the object should be created using constructor function. So all object can have this. Ah, yes, that's totally, you understood, Vishal. If you want to have it, like if you have one class or constructor are same, right? In the JavaScript, right? If you want to add one key to all the objects, who is going to have, who should have this key, so then yes, you just add that key in the class. Automatically, all the objects who is going to instantiate that class will have that key or method. That's totally true. What kind of projects we can create using Node.js? I think we can simply create multiple websites in Node.js right now. Any blogging websites, or any blogging, or still we can create like a lot of real-time streaming applications also as well. Like I have seen some of the real-time streaming applications where we are right now talking continuously with the socket.io. There is one package in the Node.js called socket.io, which helps you to do the real-time streaming things, where you can create the message chat server. Chat server, yes, that was the real-time streaming in the messages at the real time. The two people are sending message at the same chat. You can do these type of applications also as well in the Node.js. Okay. Riyaz is saying, sir, I missed yesterday class. Can you summarize, please? Sure. At the end, I will just summarize it. Just remind me one more time. Okay. How to set mandatory constraint for the field in non-relational database? So yes, that's the little problem uh, in the non-relational database, that we do not have these type of constraint, but there are some of the ORMs, object relational. What's the full form of ORM? Let me check, guys. 1 minute. ORM full form. We have one lecture on ORM also. Yeah, object relational mapping. So there are some ORM which are again the tools, softwares, which helps you in like lot of the things. Like you are writing queries in core ways. How the database is saying to you. But ORMs provide a wrapper on all those things, and then you can easily do lot of constraint, do lot of your method, like provide a lot of methods. See, right now, for updating things in the SQL database, you need to write update this table, set this value, where this correct, this query you have to write. But if you use the ORM, you just simply dot update the method. ORM will provide dot update method, and then simply you will pass 2 3 values, and then internally that ORM will create query for you. So that's why what ORM does, object relation mapping. So they just wrapper on they are just the wrapper on top of your core languages. So we are also going to use one ORM in our projects. I see some next of the some classes where we are going to discuss about the ORM. So we'll talk more about the ORM. So, but yeah, so the reason why I bring the ORM. So with the help of ORM, you can provide the constraint while you are before sending data to database. Before sending data to database, you can put some constraint on the logic server side only, that this type of data only you want to create. So this type only data will be created, and only this type of data will be saved to database. So there you can create the constraint in the non-relational. This way you can create the constraint in the non-relational database. Uh, okay, so where we were? Miss yesterday. Okay, can I create? Yeah, can I create chat web using Node.js? Yes, you can. Definitely. Try to look for some of the projects. Like I told you, the socket.io definitely will help you. Try to look for socket.io package. Great, like regex. Yes, you can put the regex also in the while creating the constraint. That's right. Okay, so I think now we have the last question of Riaz. He missed the yesterday class, so we can summarize that quickly. Okay, so I think before starting class, I already summarized it, but let's summarize it again. So yeah, so yesterday class we have started with middleware. Yes, Express middleware, and I draw the same diagram where I showed you that all the client requests are coming to routes, and then those routes are passing those requests to middleware, and then from middleware all the middleware will be executed, and then the request will come to controller. Correct. I also showed you in the middleware Like if there is any if any middleware is throwing any error, you just need to simply return from there. You do not need to go into the next one. Correct. You can simply throw the error from there, and that response can go back to the client. That was the thing which we discussed first, and after that I showed you some examples how we are going to write the middlewares. Yeah, I think I also told you about the global middleware and the specific middleware. When we are going to create the global middlewares, all the requests will go into that. And for the specific middleware, only for that API where we are going to put that middleware will be called. That part I have showed you. And after that, I showed you some examples where we were going to use, where we are trying to send some file from the server side. And we were also trying to use the middleware there. Correct. And after that, we went into the CRUD part: creation, retrieval, updation, and deletion. We have created the 4 APIs, and we have used some sample array. We are storing some data there, and we are doing some manipulation on that data. While creating the CRUD operation, I told you we need one more package, and that package name is body parser. And we need some configuration for body parser. And I have showed you what is the configuration which we need for the body parser. We put it in the top of the file, and then everything was working. I think, yeah, after that, we moved into the SQL part, where we started understanding the importance of data in our IT industries or in everywhere. I told you that data is the new money which everyone wants to have. Everyone wants to have some data, and with the data, you can like utilize in the better ways or in negative ways, as whatever way you want. You utilize data. Then I told you when we have this type of data, we need some storage to keep this data. Then we first talk about the file system. And I told you the file system is very good when we have one or two persons and they just want to access this data. It's like an RPC. This is my PC, means personal computer, means for one person. Correct? And then according to our need, we can create the folders, we can create the directories, and then keep our data. But when we are talking about the client server architecture, when millions of users are going to use your website, at that time we cannot go with the file system, because file system has some of the problems which are solved with the help of database systems. Database provide you some of the better ways to handle all the problems which file system has. Okay, and I told you the database management system is there, which provides you some of the tasks which we need to handle, like the data definitions, data updation, data creation, and some administrative tasks we do with the help of database management system. And after that, we jump into the types of databases, like centralized database, distributed database. And I told you about the what is the centralized database, like the when we have a database at one place and everyone is making requests to that database only. When we have the single database, we do not have any syncing problem here. Every data will be available there, and it will be faster also, because this is one single unit, correct? And then we have but this has one bigger problem, that if one time database got failed, and nobody can access this data, correct? In that scenario, that's why people goes to the distributed database. Distributed database, if there is no single point of failure, because now there are multiple databases and multiple user can access it. But with the distributed database, there is one more problem, two problems. One is the syncing problem, because you need to sync data between all the instances. And then the second problem is you will not get the uniform interface. Because in the single database, it's just one single one, right? You can see everything at one place. But in the distributed database, thinking is happening here. You might not be able to see the correct data right now. So that's the second problem. Then we talk about the relational databases, where we create the relation between tables, right? That was the MySQL is, right? Then we talk about the personal database or commercial database. These type of databases we discuss about. Okay. And after that, we jump into the MySQL. And I told you this MySQL is a relational database where we manage our data, organize our data in the form of tables. Correct. In the tables, we use the same structure like column and rows. Correct. And then I told you in the MySQL, we can create our database with a different type of queries. And those queries were like DQL, DDL, like data definition language, data query language, data manipulation language, transaction control language, and these type. I think I haven't given you the proper example of that. That we will do in our tomorrow class about these examples. Okay, so that's what I think we have done in yesterday class. Okay, let's see next question. Can you please explain express file transfer.js, which is done yesterday? Sure, we'll go into that quickly. Are we going to write complex query and learn different queries? Yes, I think in the next class, I see that there is some queries sessions. So we will talk totally tomorrow about the queries. Okay. So in upcoming days, DMS can be done with data science or Python instead of using SQL. Sorry if the question was wrong. No problem, Hariharan. So DBMS can be done with a data science or Python instead of using SQL. No, no, no. We can't. DBMS purpose is to manage data, store data. It provides you a way to interact with data. That's why it provides you these data manipulation languages, data creation language. Correct? These languages will always be there. You need to interact with database. Python is a language which interact with. Python is a language same like Node.js or JavaScript. It's a language. Whenever this Python language it needs to interact with database, it will uses the same DBMS languages. So that's why DBMS will still exist. But data science is another field. It's data science is the field where we talk about where we talk or find about the trends in data. Like there are a lot of data. There we try to found the patterns in the data, that this type of data could be same, and then based on those patterns we try to predict something in the future. That's the field we talk about in data science. Sir, how can we store message in chat wave? Will MySQL support for big data now? Yes, we can store messages, or we can go with the NoSQL also. You can see how easily we can store in the chats there. You can see a simple object structure for the chatting messages. You can see simple, we can create the message array and all the messages could keep there. But yeah, we need to think about a little bit if there is some dependencies like whose message is what, those type of things we need to understand. But yeah, we can easily save in both the databases. But yeah, we need to do some of the like the thinking before choosing for the database for chat applications. Okay, so now let's look into the express file transfer one. Quickly, we will look into the express file transfer base. So express file transfer was here. Yeah. So what was the purpose here? We were trying to do everything in our middleware. You can see right now there is no API name we have provided. There is no API method. No get, no post, no put. We are trying to do everything in our middleware. So this was our first middleware where we are just simply logging whatever URL we are sending in our request. That was the first middleware. Then in the second middleware, what we are trying to do, we are trying to read the file and respond that file. How we are doing that? First we went into the directory, because the files right now which we can send, it's in our current directory only, file1.txt and file2.txt. What I did, first I come to this particular directory and then look for what file user is looking. How we will look that? With the URL. That's why if somebody is looking for file1, we'll add the /file1.txt. If somebody is looking for /file2, we'll add the /file2.txt. Once I got the file path, then I told you about the one of the fs method, and I showed you how can we use the one of the fs method. And fs is a module which helps you to interact with file system, right? You can write, you can create a new file, you can create the new directory, or you can create a new folder, right? And directory or folder, same thing. And then you can create the new files, you can update the new file, you can append the file, you can delete the file. All those things you can do with the help of fs method. Here I was just simply using one of the method of fs module, which was a stat method. In this stat method, we pass the file path, we pass our callback, and in this callback, we will get two things: error or the information about the file. If we are getting error, we are simply saying error is there, and we are still going to the next. It means we are still going to the next middleware. And if there is error, we are simply sending the error from here. Correct? And or if there is if there is not an error, then what we are doing, we are simply checking the content which we got from the fs.stat, is it the content of file or not? Is it the content of file or not? If this is content of file, then simply send that file to customer. Not, if not, then call the next method. And in the next method, we are saying invalid URL or missing files. That was the next middleware. So that's what we are trying to do here. Okay, guys. Three things were happening here. So Hari is saying like path.join from path. Yes, path.join is coming from the path module, and it just joined two things. One is a underscore directory name, where we got our directory names, like till here. Let me share my screen again. Yes, path.die joining two things. First is this, second one is this. This one is coming from the client side, and this one is current directory name, which will be this slash file transfer, like the backend cohort slash file transfer. This will be our current directory name, and then the request URL. That's how we do it. Okay. So if you guys do not have any other further questions, so I think Jasleen was having some question right earlier. So Jasleen can share the screen, and we can look into that part. Jasleen, are you still there? Let me see in the chat or in the participants. Jasleen is still there. Oh, I think she has left. So, okay, guys. So, you guys have any other questions? I'm ready to take. Or I think, like in yesterday call, I was telling you about the installing the database on like the free SQLdatabase.com. Does it work for you? I haven't tried to SQL download it. I just using the same one. Okay, if it is work for everyone, can one of you guys share your screen and show me? Yeah, I like for other can also see that. Can like any one of you like Vishal or Sarad or Vishnu, anyone can share your screen because I'm not able to log in. Yeah, I think somebody is sharing screen. So Deepak is sharing his screen, I think. So you can go to the yeah SQL6 database. Okay. Yeah, this is the website, guys. So this is can you just share the link of this website in the chat? Yeah. So this is the link, Nilanjan, where you have to go. I'm not trying to download the SQL database in your local environment. Just trying to do it on your directly in the website. Yeah, yeah. Please share your screen, Deepak, again. Whoever was sharing his screen, please share your screen. Yes, you have to create the account also. Oh yeah, Sarath, please share your screen, Sarath. Oh, thank you. Okay, now you can see once you will be logged in into it after register. So first you have to register it here. If you remember your password, Sarath, so you can just log out here, and then we can show everyone that how it is working. Oh, I forget my password. Okay, you can see the register screen, right, guys? Can you just click on the register button? Yeah. So first you have to register here, and after registering, you will get the email, and in that email they will, I think, and that email can come into the spam also. Correct. So they will provide you set, I think, password reset things. So now once you will create your account, then you can directly go into the login. So yes, sir. Please log in. So now you can see the Sarad is logging right now. So once you will log in here, yeah. So you have to first select the location right now. So Sarad has already selected the Asia Pacific, but for the new person, he has to select the Asia Pacific here. Then if you will come down, you will see right now he has already created a database. That's why, okay, so he's trying to delete it for you guys only. You can see that. Yeah, so start new database. This button will come for you. So you have to just trigger this button, and this will take some time, and you will get the credentials on your email. The database password and all these things will come into your email. Okay, and let's just wait for some minute. And once you get that, Parag is saying got the mail instant, but nothing happened for me. Password is not working for me. Okay, it's weird. So you like we have only created the password, right? So we might have created the wrong password, might be. And now we will get the password in our email. And now once you get the password, can you click on the follow this link of PHP my admin? Yeah. Now after that you have to click on this link, PHP my admin, and you can unshare your screen, Sarath, and bring the password if you got in your email. Okay. You can stop sharing and get the password. I think you still didn't get it. Let's check in the spam. You still didn't get it, so just wait for some minutes. Yeah, I think this is the password you got it. You can see. All right. Now try to click on here. So first try not report not spam. Just click on the report not spam first. No, sir, go there. Click on the report not spam. Go up. Yeah, report not spam. Once you will do that, this will come into your chat. Go to the inbox now. Go to inbox on the left side. Yeah, go to inbox. Yeah, all mail. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can see the first one. Yeah, now use this credential. First take the host name. Yeah, SQL6 free SQL database.com. Copy that part. Yes, that's right, Parag. I have raised the concern with them. I'm also not able to reset my password. I forget it. But yeah, that's happening. You need to copy this one. You need to copy. No, Sarath, you need to copy this URL. SQL6, yeah. And then go to the PHP my admin. Yeah, put it into the server. Yeah, a space is coming, I think, at the end. Remove the space. Yeah. Okay, now copy the database username. Put it there. Now put the password. Yes. Yeah, click on I am not robot. Yeah. Now click on go. Let's see. Yeah, like that's right, Hari. I think we are not getting a like a reset one. I have already mailed them. You can also email them like in the same URL from where you got the message that. So we are not getting the yeah. So now you can see we are able to see the. Now if you click on the SQL one on the top, you can see the SQL. Yeah, here we can write all the queries in our SQL. There will be one editor will come. You can play right today, Sarath, in this. You can create like there is one. Okay, guys, let me give you one URL, and I want every one of you to start reading about the queries from there. Then we will come into tomorrow call, and we will try to understand it more. Let me come back to yeah. I have provided that. Yeah. So, Sarath, I have provided you the URL. So this URL you can use it. Yeah, that's fine. Now, sir, you can stop sharing the screen. That's fine now. So now with this URL javascript.com MySQL create database, you guys can start using this thing. Where is your company location? My company location is in Bangalore. But right now I'm working from home. I have checked in the mail and no ways to direct. Yeah, password reset is not coming actually. Yes, I am also facing the problem. That's why I was not able to show you that. That's why I've taken the help of Sarath. And thanks Sarath for sharing his screen and going through the process steps. Very thanks. XAMPP can be used. Yes, XAMPP also we can use. That's right, Parag. We can use the XAMPP. See, at the end we only need one database. Why one MySQL database in our local environment? So we can just play on that. I just find this way. You guys, if you guys have other ways, you can go for that. You can also install the MySQL database directly in your system. That's fine. After logging to MySQL, after logging to PHP just go through the website which I provided you and try to create some of the queries. Try to create table, try to insert some data in table, try to manipulate that data in table. That's what we will do tomorrow also. So try to do these things. Okay, guys? Yeah. Yeah, so like so see, if you're not able to install it through the freesql.com, you can go for XAMPP also. XAMPP is also there. Let me look for the XAMPP because I am in the Mac, so I'm not trying most of the things. Like yeah, XAMPP download is there. So see, at the end, our purpose is to get the MySQL database in our local environment. So local environment or somehow we can run some of the queries. Yes. Now you have to click on the follow this link for PHP My Admin. Nilanjan, I saw your screenshot. You now have to click on the follow this PHP My Admin link, and you will come to this type of screen. This type of screen. There you need to put your server username, and these things you will get it into your email. In the spam, you have to you will get these information there. You need to provide it. Click on the I am not a robot, and then you have to click on this. Say I am not a robot, and then click on the go. And then okay, what happened? Let's try it again. It's taking a lot of time. Yeah, that's a problem actually with online services. They will take a lot of time to access. See, I will also try to install XAMPP in my environment, so the query could be easily faster because XAMPP installed in our system only. So that's why we can. No problem, sir. I have the credentials actually for this. It is opening. It is opening. It is taking a lot of time only. I have the credentials for this one. I don't have the credentials for the website, but that's fine. No need to share it. That's fine. But this is taking a lot of time, right? This is not good. So that's why I will think some other way to run the queries. Yeah, XAMPP. Yeah, XAMPP only. See, this is the website for XAMPP where you can download it. It will provide everything to you. PHP also provide 2-3 things to us. PHP database and everything. They have given you the link for XAMPP. Yeah, SQL Cell. Because this is my office laptop, so that's why I was just trying to like not install the XAMPP. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, in yesterday class, you have written return in the express file transfer. Why to use return there? So because we want to simply do not want to go to next line. That's why we simply return it from there because we were seeing the error, right? And we do not want to go to the next line. That's why we are simply returning it from there. PayPal founder with them, yes. They have said like there is like Elon Musk book. When the Elon Musk has founded it, the name was not PayPal. The name was different. And then later on they have come like some other person has come and then They have rename it to PayPal. Next is used, so it will go to the next. Yes, it will first go to the next API. And see, that next does not make any sense there actually. We can say that in the error part, next was not making any sense. But I was just trying to show you that how can we go to the next middleware. In the error part, next was not making any sense because we can simply throw the error from there. Correct? Yeah, that next doesn't make any sense. Return makes sense. From there we can return it. Or the return also does not make proper sense. So let me show you what is the right way to throw the error from there. See, this is the express JavaScript, right? So rather than doing this, we need to directly actually from here we should throw the error with the response.send. That makes more sense. Response.status 400.send. That make more sense. We can simply throw the error from here. Right? Right, Likit? That make more sense here. What is Next.js? So Next.js, I think it's a extended version of React.js. So React.js has a lot of things, and somewhere it misses static page support or server side support. So those all things come as a bundle in the Next.js. A lot of people have started in PayPal also. We have started using Next.js, but still less use case. But we are slowly going towards the Next.js. Is it not mandatory to use return? No, it's not. Simple. Like the main thing is response.send. That's mandatory. Today was general class or doubt session? It was doubt session. DB which we make in our computer use system or cloud storage. DB which we make in our computer use system or cloud storage. Can you just clear a little bit more what you want to ask Parag here? Which we make in our computer use systems or cloud storage? Yeah, little bit make. But I didn't understand the question.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Sir, actually, I am asking the DB which we create for our trial purpose. It just use our system usages or make in cloud storage.
Okay. So once we create database, where are we creating that database? If we are going to create database in our system, then it's going to use our system resources, our system memory. Because database means we are going to keep data somewhere. It means we need memory. So that in those scenarios, it will use our hard disk. If we are going to use in our system, then it is going to use our hard disk, and then we are going to store that data there. If we are going to use the cloud databases, then it is going to use the cloud storage or whatever they have, whatever the storage they have. It will use their spaces. At the end, we need space. So in our local environment, it could be our hard disk, our memory, our system resources. And if we are using our cloud, then we can use the cloud resources. Okay, Parag?
Yes, sir. So, sir, so XAM app, what it will do? Like it provide cloud or use our system means
Our
local
system.
host.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Okay.
is our system. Okay, after coming Node.js, JavaScript gives all-round performance. We can create front, backend. Yes, that's totally true. That's why a lot of people have started hiring full-stack developer. That's the benefit actually only. JavaScript is working on front end as back end. Even the MongoDB you can see, right? The Java JSON structure only. So that's again if you know about the MongoDB CLI, they also follow the lot of object structure only. DB dot like in MongoDB also use a lot of like what I want to say you on the database side also they have started using the JavaScript or similar to JavaScript. Not for storing database. I'm saying not for storing. For storing data, we need still some hard disk or memory. But for interacting with that data, they have started writing things in JavaScript. That's what I will say. I have logged into patient admin. What to do in GV. Now you have the database. You can create the tables there. You can write the queries. You can insert data. I have provided the website, right? The tutorial points for MySQL. You can start writing some queries, creating the tables, creating the data. That's what you can start with. Yes, I will be telling about that tomorrow also. But I want you guys to first practice more about that. So because in the next class, I am trying to do the next class topic also, which is I think we have 12 scenarios where we need to write queries. So I'm trying to push that part a little bit. But yeah, I will start with that. Sir, can we interact with data with programming language? Yes, that's what we do only. With the data programming languages, only we interact with data. So like from the PHP, you are interacting with database. From the Node.js, we are going to interact Node.js right now using JavaScript. JavaScript is programming language. So JavaScript is going to interact with databases. And database understand their own language, like SQL understand create database or insert into that. So we will pass these queries to database server, and database server will understand that queries, and according to that, it will go into the hard disk or wherever they are storing data in a table format, bring it from there. What is microservices? So see, this is a separate concept. So right now, we create one server, right? In that server, we are creating 2000 APIs, correct? So now the same server, same like APIs. Now so we for one server who is like giving 200 APIs, we will say that this is one service is running. One service is running, which is serving 200, which is exposing 200 APIs. And now you can say when million of people are going to use those APIs, those same APIs, now millions of requests are going to one server only, or for one service only. So that's why that service might that service that service might be hanged, or it might be able to not serve every request. So that's why the new architectural decisions has come. When we are seeing that our service are going to be used by many peoples, then we try to create microservices. Like in one service, only 2 or 3 APIs will be written there, and only those 2 3 APIs will be exposed. Then in the similar way, we will say that like user service. Now in the user services, there will be very small microservice. User service will be the big umbrella, and this under user services there will be small microservices, and those microservices will be like a user creation or user deletion, user updation. These will be microservices between different servers. Now for the earlier we were having only one server. That's why we're saying one service. Now we are going to have multiple servers to do the same things. And microservice only makes sense when we are going to have like a lot of scalability or a lot of traffic. Only on those scenarios, microservices use. Like Netflix uses the microservices because a lot of people are accessing their data. So yeah, that's why microservices has come into the picture. I think Netflix or Amazon was the first, the first teams or first product units which has come with the terms of microservices. Let me see the next question. In the case of confidential data, will we be given access to perform DDL or DML on data? It will affect the data, right? Will we be given access for that? Yes, that depends on your user administrator, your database administrator. So in the SQL, there are ways we can create users, and on those users we can provide the privileges. Like, can you insert the data? Can you delete the data in this particular table or not? So that totally depends on your database administrator. So like in some scenarios, you need to update some data, so he will provide you permissions, and then you can do the task, and then he can revoke it later. So that part come in. There is one thing I will tell you about that, but yeah, that we can do it. Can we Node.js? Can we use Node.js in enterprise application? Yes, we are using the Node.js in enterprise applications. Here are the companies using Node.js: Netflix, NASA, Trello, PayPal, LinkedIn, Walmart, Uber. Yes, we are using it. What about the predefined tables, sir? Like ERP tables. So predefined tables, like ERP tables. I'm not sure about that meaning, but what I understood with the predefined tables, like sometime some dummy data we want to create it. So I think we can say for that dummy data we just use the predefined tables. Oh, you mean like all the tables? Like I see. I understood the predefined tables like the database has. Okay, okay. So yeah, database has some predefined tables for them, like the user table, correct? Where like first time when we are logged in into the system, we can see database automatically creates the table for us, default tables, right? So for keeping all the users information, or some of the, we can say, the privileges or some of the procedures, or might be like because database also needs to do some of the things automatically, like some backup is there, or some access privileges thing. All those things are needed to do automatically. So for those things, for those data, for those informations, database automatically create these tables. Okay. Why Node.js and why not? See, Node.js on the server side, right? And Next.js combine both things. So people are using Next.js like on the front end side, and it also provides you the next like server side code as well. So yes, like not much difference, but I think Next.js is now mostly they are treating Next.js on the front end side rather than the front back end side. So that's why. But yeah, like people slowly are using Next.js. They are creating the projects in Next.js. Yeah, we might use the Next.js in future so much. I think we are going to like at the end of today time. So we'll just take the last two questions and then we will stop here. So by Node.js, okay, Oracle tables, yes. Oracle tables are also the relational tables, okay. And then we have, sir, how APIs are had. If you have, see, all the APIs needs tokens, right? If there is a Google Map APIs, you see that Google Map APIs also need tokens. So if somehow you got the tokens, you are hacking the APIs. That's how, like if they have all the secret and session informations, if you somehow you got that things, you can simply hack them. But that's not easy. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think we are now at the end of this class. And next question is, Deepak is like, did I able to crack Mang with this course? Yes, why not? You can try for, because see, with this course today, what we are going to discuss, that's what we are going to discuss about the application understanding, correct? So you have to understand the application level. And on these type of interviews, they simply ask about the system designing. There is one round called system designing also. So in that system designing, they ask you how can you create one applications, right? So whatever we are going to read today, that could be help you there in that thing. Okay. Okay, Deepak. And on the first, I think on the first modules, you learn about the JavaScript, on the data structure part, I think also. So that would definitely help in your clearing the first or second round, because they simply ask their JavaScript and data structure part. So yeah, that definitely the whole whatever the level is providing you, definitely going to help you to achieve your bigger goals as well. Sure, Deepak. Okay, guys. So thanks for connecting today. So we'll talk tomorrow now. So I provided you one URL, and let's try to practice that URLs. Let me show you again. You all have now access to database. So try to create some tables there, try to play with them. Yeah, you will enjoy. And then once you will play with that, then you will understand that whatever we will discuss tomorrow with more interest. Okay. Okay, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Sure, Nilanjan. Or you can watch the recording also, right? But yeah, we will see tomorrow also. Sure, Nilanjan. Okay, guys. Have a nice day. Bye. Bye bye.